All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 637 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And today is, a special day for Georgia Southern. It's a landmark day for Georgia Southern. They opened up the Anthony P. Tippins Family Training Facility. I'm just going to call it the practice facility for Georgia Southern football. It is somewhat indoor and is not necessarily completed, but it is good enough for them to go in and actually practice. I think this is really awesome because they have an extra place to actual practice, and you don't have to practice on Paulson Stadium. This is really awesome. And they, Eagle Creek is always a special place to go practice as well. But for them to have this is really, really cool. And it just shows that this is becoming a first class program. I mean, it's always been first class due to winning, but now they're starting to show it in other ways. So that's pretty awesome. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about Matt Schaub today. He is basically on the Atlanta Falcons staff as a QB consultant for Desmond Ridder and obviously the coaching staff. So that's pretty interesting. I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on that. So it's been a pretty cool day for both, programs, the Georgia Southern Eagles and Atlanta Falcons. So if this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on the YouTube and Rumble. I'm also on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to find things that I don't really talk about on the show, stuff that don't make it to the show, I am on Twitter, or I think that's called now X, at VF Baller. And also the website is firstandframerates.com. You can go over there, support the show. Also, you can find different avenues to subscribe to the podcast. All right, let's go ahead and just jump right into this. Georgia Southern utilizes the Tippins facility, the Tippins Family Training Facility for the first time, and it was awesome. It was great. I saw it all over social media. Shout out to our athletic director, Jared Benko. He has put a stamp on his name and he put his, he has made a legacy for himself at Georgia Southern already, just by coming in and making some changes, moving some things around, showing that this program, not only with all the tradition that they have at Georgia Southern, but all the other things that using that tradition to elevate to the next level. And it is starting to show. You see how they did with the stadium. They did some cosmetic work with the stadium. The football field looks absolutely amazing now. I have that on my on my screen on my phone now. I mean, it looks beautiful. The other things that they're trying to do with the basketball program, the things that the accomplishments that all the athletic programs are doing, it's not all just one person, but Jared Benko is definitely spearheading it. And I love the fact that he is our athletic director, and he was able to facilitate and start putting things in motion for big things like this to happen. And for these kids to go out there and actually practice on the facility for the first time is absolutely amazing. Once again, shout out to the Tippins family for their generous assistance to making this happen. You just cannot ask for a better situation for Georgia Southern. It is awesome watching these guys go practice, and it just looked different. I mean, there's it's like a flash trailer, or there's like a highlight reel of what they've done in the facility today, and I'm going to show that to you guys in a second. It's just a beautiful thing, man, and I can't wait to actually go down to Statesboro and see this for myself. I need to see this with my own two eyes. Last time I was down there, it was about 20 to 30% done. There was a lot of construction all over the place. And to be quite honest, I kind of forgot about this facility being built until today. I, get on social media and I see them out there just, in the facility. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a mock-up, or this is something that they're just showing some pictures, but no, they're actually out there training and practicing. It's just a great day for Georgia Southern and everything under that umbrella. So without further ado, I'm going to show you this this trailer, or this highlight, video of the guys in there practicing. This is just amazing. This is just awesome. I cannot play the audio, so if you're listening to this on the podcast avenue, you're just gonna hear my voice. because the audio has copyrighted music in it. So I'm just going to play it. I'm going to give you, just my reaction as I go. So let me pop this up real quick. There it is right there. So if you're watching on YouTube and Rumble, you can see this. You can also find this on Georgia Southern Football's Twitter handle, or X handle now. It is at GS Athletics _FB. GS Athletics _FB. All right, let's look at this here. I mean, just look at this. This just looks so awesome. These guys out there just putting in work. And it just looks different because now with this, footage and them being inside the facility, it just shows that these guys look serious. It doesn't look like how it is when they were out in Paulson. It just wasn't, it was cool, don't get me wrong, but it just feels different when you look at this. I mean, this was just absolutely amazing. It goes for about 40 seconds. So that was really dope. Bunch of highlight plays, diving catches, running the ball, tackling, guys just out there putting in work, and it was just a beautiful thing. Now, speaking of putting in work, I'm gonna let you know what has actually happened throughout today on the practice field. So some observations, you can find this on gseagles.com under the football, under the actual football tab, and just go to the new era in Georgia Southern football. Georgia Southern athletics begins, and they basically talk about being in the practice facility. Now, what they're talking about here is running backs Jalen White and OJ Arnold continue to press the backfield. I mean, there's no secret there. Both of these guys like lightning and thunder. I did an episode about these guys a while back where Jalen White is definitely the thunder, OJ Arnold is the lightning. But one thing about these two guys, both of them catch out the backfield. So that is something that is definitely to be watching out for, especially Jalen White. Jalen White gets out in the open field and he can catch. I think he had like 20-something catches last year. Yeah, and he catches out the backfield, and that's a guy you do not want to tackle. So that is absolutely amazing. Freshman corner came on. I think I want to say that right. I keep thinking I'm messing up this guy's name. I do want to apologize. Came on Mathis, Texas native, signed in February, continues to make plays and impress the coaches early on in camp. Others members of the secondary having big days today were Cam Smith, Justin Myers, and Tyrell Davis. Shout out to Tyrell Davis. I talked about him earlier late last week about him bouncing back after being redshirted. I think he's after his freshman year, he could be one of these guys that's going to really be a problem, and it's going to be hard to keep him off the field. Receiver Caleb Hood picked up where he left off last year after a 20-yard gain on third down. He took a screen 66 yards to the house in today's practice. A young receiver who continues to show flashes also is David Dallas, who is now sporting number 19, has great hands and shown a knack to make tough catches on. Josh Dallas is a guy that I thought that could have made a impact right away last year. So he's in his sophomore year along with his brother David. Josh Dallas looked really good in some of his high school clips, so I'm not surprised with that. Finally, freshman walk-on Taylor Bradshaw had a great diving catch in the end zone on a deep ball to score for the offense. The receiving corps is very deep this year with some older guys, but it appears the younger guys are also looking to make some noise. That's really good to know as well. You got a lot of young guys. I mean, I can start naming them off. I think Caleb Hood is like one of the veterans, and you got Jalen Barton, and you got Anthony Queeley. You got some guys that are really about, putting some work in, but you turn around and you have these other guys like, Dalen Cobb. You also have like the Bradshaw, Dallas. And I mean, you got some guys out there that's playing receiver that actually could be looking pretty good. So this is something that you might want to keep an eye on. Davis Brin has plenty of targets to throw the ball to. So that is really, really cool to see. Really cool to know, and I can't wait to see how that plays out when these guys get on the field, because this team looks pretty complete this year. They look pretty good. They talked about the running game just now, looking at the secondary, and now you're talking about the receivers. You already know what you got at running back, and I can't wait to see what that front seven does. So they're looking pretty good. Now, before we get out of here, let's talk about Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub is now a QB consultant for the Atlanta Falcons. I think they got him down as a football analyst coach. So that is interesting. One thing about this situation is, like, if you can't get Matt Ryan to be this, I'm okay with Matt Schaub because Matt Schaub is a solid quarterback. Now I remember at one point he was like, I think he's like King Pick 6 or something like that. He had a lot of ups and downs in his career, but one thing about it is that we really felt that Matt Schaub could have been one of those guys that, really just could have been a franchise quarterback for us. I mean, he was behind Michael Vick. We ended up trading him after being around for 3 years, which, at the time was not a bad move. But at the same time, we figured that looking back at it, it probably would have been best if we kept him around for a little bit longer. I mean, I don't know. It's just hindsight is 2020. I don't know if I'm correct on that, but after the whole debacle with the whole coaching thing, it probably wouldn't have been a good idea to keep anybody. Because I mean, we went crazy, once that whole situation went with Bobby Petrino and all this other stuff. It just was not a really good, and also a Michael Vick legal situation. So it really didn't pan out like we wanted to. But I will say at the end of the day, if it wasn't for all that, we probably wouldn't have got Matt Ryan. So it was kind of, it worked out. With that being said, he did come back to the Falcons back in 2016 and played for us the next 4 years, whatever the case may be. And he's a solid guy. He's a solid guy. I don't know what his football mind looked like because I never really thought about, him being a football analyst, but you have to work your way up somewhere. You never know. Matt Schaub may be, somewhere in somebody's coaching, will at some point. Arthur Smith thinks that he's going to be worth, picking his brain and giving Desmond Ridder some pointers. And it may just work out because all the time, it's not all about your performance on the field. Some guys are excellent coaches, but they weren't the best at the quarterback position or a position in general. Some guys just not like an elite type of player, but they excel at coaching. A lot of guys are like that. You rarely find some guys who are like elite at the position and a good coach. Those guys aren't really, they're not really easy to pick up on. But the guys who normally, just middle of the road, up and down career, they're the ones that usually be okay when it comes to the being on the coaching staff. So I think it's going to work out. I don't see a downside to this. Matt Schaub has been in the league for 17 years? It seems like he's been in the league for a long time. I think he started in 2004. So he's been in the league for 16, 17 years. I mean, there's some knowledge up there. So I'm for it. I can't wait to see how it plays out. So I'm good with it. So I can't wait to see what happens. Matter of fact, we're going to talk about this next episode. We'll be talking about a football game later on this weekend. Yeah, we're going to be playing some football. I can't wait to see how that game plays out. Man, that's going to be pretty dope. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Georgia Southern Indoor Practice Facility, Anthony Tippins Practice Facility, however you want to call it, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that we got it. But I will say absolutely shout out and many thanks. Many thanks to the Tippins family for the facilitation of getting this together. And we cannot thank those guys enough. It's just been an awesome, journey to get this far as the Falcons go. I cannot wait to see how this all plays out for the team. And did I say the Falcons? I can't remember. I think I probably tongue twisted. I meant the Eagles. Nevertheless, can't see how the way that plays out for them. And also, the Falcons are picking up the Matt Schaub on the coaching staff. It's gonna be pretty interesting. So there's a lot of good positive things going on. Let me know what you guys think. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google Podcasts, but also on X at VF Baller, and the website is firstandframeraise.com. I will see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Monday. See you guys on Tuesday. You guys take it easy, and you guys be blessed. Peace.